Hey, how y'all doing out there? Listen, many people ask me all the time why I do what I do, and I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. Uh, Got to kind of throw that into the equation a little bit. But on a serious note, they wonder how I can live like I live, or how I can love like I love, and even though it's a tough love and it's a forced love, there's all reason behind every bit of who I am and why I do what I do. And I just wanted to let y'all know because there's a lot of new people in my social media life, and there's a lot of new people in my actual real life. And I think it's important for everybody to understand who I am and what I'm doing and the reason behind it. And actually, the reason behind it is the reason behind me. From a little guy, from the day I was born, I love this mother. I love this planet. I never played well with others as a kid. I never got along well with anybody. But I could always step outside. I could watch a leaf fall. I could watch a squirrel run. I could watch a beautiful southern thunderstorm come across the plains. And I would just fall in love with this mother over and over again. But as I became a man and I was told what to do, and even from kindergarten when my teacher put me on amphetamines, and this is like 1969, so I know that line. I wouldn't conform, but I had to get by. Like everybody says, I have to get by. So as I got by, my teens went by. I didn't get along. I got sent off to private school. I joined into the workforce, and I um, thought I could be the best machinist, thought I could build something, airplanes, fracking rigs, drill rigs. And I got to a point where I was living that lie that they promote to you, the money, the job, the false pride and bravado that comes with the job, making this and making that, driving this, living in that, wearing this, eating this, whatever. It was all a lie to me, and I couldn't stand it, and it drove me quite insane. And I went into a depression. And while that depression was going on, mankind decided, the doctors decided to put me on this and put me on that. And in the beginning, I believed it. And I thought, hey, this might help. This might help me be like everybody else. And that's when I realized nobody's like anybody else. And the system is a lie. It only makes rich people richer. It only makes corporations uh, powerful enough to destroy your planet to become richer. So it really drove me crazy. And then my sister died 10 years ago, and I lost it, y'all. I mean, even stepping outside, even the love of my dog, even the love of babies around me, the earth, Mother Earth couldn't even pull me out. And I hated mankind. I hated everything. I wished death upon the world. And somewhere along this line, I met this crazy woman, and she turned out to be crazier than I thought. And she was actually just a friend, but she was over in Australia, and everything seemed nice. And I was starting to regain my composure, and I was back working in a machine shop, and I was thinking that everything that I was doing was right. And I was fighting the energy companies, and I was fighting fracking, and I was going to go do this and do that. Well, right before I was fixing to take that trip, 2,000 pounds of steel fell on my foot and took 3 of my toes off. And I was back in the hospital, back on more drugs, um, back depressed, because I was just fixing to escape for a little while. And I was just going to walk away for like a month and just go to Australia and walk in the mountains and drink clean water and see different animals and feel the mother in the oldest continent. And I just wanted to feel her love again. Well, I snapped out of that, and I wound up going to Australia. But when I got there, I found out it was for false reasons, but it was also for a reason to meet a brother and a sister out there. And their name's Ian and Kathy. And they are just the most beautiful people I ever met in my life. And that brother, we would sit around every night around a little fire in a little pit that he had made. And we would talk about all these things. And we wouldn't fuss. And we wouldn't fight. And I noticed that when we would go get wood for the fire, he would pick up old wood and he would thank the trees. And I used to think, I used to do that. I used to talk to the trees. I used to thank the mother for everything that good that happened in my life. I started to remember who I was. But I was still on the meds, legal meds, prescribed meds like many of y'all. And these were opiates and benzos. And so I finally figured out it was time for me to stop. So I had him drop me off to a place, and I camped for a little while. And during that little while, I was right by a very clean river, the Nowandock River. And this river spoke to me. And the mother was very strong there. And even though I was just on the edge of an old country road, many, many things happened during that. For one, I became deathly sick from just cold turkey off the meds. But I lived through it. I drank the clean water. I asked the mother to heal me. And as a small child, when I was afraid once, I asked her to take care of me. And she asked me to take care of her. But in this reasoning, in this awakening in myself, reawakening in myself, I was a little bit wiser to mankind, and I was very much wiser to myself. I know my limitations because a true warrior knows his weaknesses before he knows his strengths. And I learned this over a lifetime, to know my weaknesses. And my weakness is, no matter how hard I get in my head, no matter how much I think I can do this and do that, I can do nothing by myself. So, being that I was very lucky to be raised unbiased and unprejudiced and around many poor people and many people of different nations and different colors, I had no problem loving everybody. But I realized that I had to love myself first. I had to fall in love with Bill again to love them. I had to quit wishing death and destruction to mankind for killing my mother, because I needed you, my tribe, my brothers and sisters, to save her. You get it now? I need you, and you need me, and we all need her. She's our mother, and I love her. And she must love me because I'm still alive and I can love. And this is why I'm your brother, and this is why I say brother and sister. This is why I speak of words of tribe, unity, community, and self-love and self-leadership. Because everything around you is just designed to suck you in and take your money, take your life, and lie to you. The only thing that will never lie to you is right behind me. And you know this. You know this with all your heart. Because everybody's lied to you. Every job's been failure. It's been something miserable, something that becomes a rat race. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. And we have to find balance with this because, yes, there is a system and it's built up around us hundreds of years before we got here. And we have to coexist with it, or they'll label you crazy. They'll say you're insane. And that's fine, because I like being crazy. I like being sane. But the one thing I like being the most is I like and love being your brother, because I know together we are to change. But I also know that I had to change inside myself, and you have to change inside yourself. And then we'll get there. Then we can love. Then we can take care of the very life source. The life source ain't the grocery store. The life source ain't that water company. The life source ain't the medical institution or industry. The life source damn sure is not the government that claims it has your best interest in mind. The life source is Mother Earth. That's where your air comes from, your food, your water, your medicine, true healing, and true love and brotherhood, and real community, real coexisting. Because the more that you try and attempt to coexist with her, the planet, the more she will coexist with you, the happier you will become, the less of mankind or the society that you step, the more that you step away from it, the less medicines that you take, the less of the processed food, the refined sugar, the fluorinated water, the better your thinking will become, the healthier your body will be. And maybe, just maybe, you can dissolve that crust around your pineal gland and you can connect back with her. And then you can feel the other animals, the other species, the other life all around you. Whether it's a plant, an animal, a bird, reptile, fish, amphibian, I don't care what it is. You'll feel their heartbeat. You'll feel their need to live, their desire to live. I've never been around an animal, a dog or a cat. It don't matter what it is, a small child, and they've ever feared me. As a matter of fact, for some reason, they tend to gravitate to me. And sometimes that can be a pain in the ass, but I love it because that's a part of me and I know where that comes from. And I know that many of you are seeking something. You're looking for something and you don't know what it is. But the answer to all your questions lie inside of you. And the answers are inside of the question. You need to think about that. You really need to think about that. So maybe do your best to eat well. Do your best to not take any kind of thing that you can buy over the counter or that's prescribed to you. I mean, unless it's just life-threatening to you. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Try to drink the cleanest water possible. Get your body right. Then your mind will get right. And when your mind gets right, your heart will get right. When your heart gets right, and you can join the tribe, you will see that it's not nothing to join. You were always a part of it. You always will be a part of it. You just don't know it yet. So seek yourself, seek your inner peace, seek your inner wisdom, because your truth is the ultimate truth, what you believe you become. But I don't think that many of you are thinking straight because of the outside influences, the medicine, the food, the pollution, what's in the air. So think about that. But always know that I'll never stop being your brother, because I need you more than you'll ever need me. And I don't need you for anything, not anything to live, except to save our planet. Because without this planet, I can't live. But the bad thing is, you can't either. And it don't matter how you live, as long as you're living, as long as your eyes still smile and you breathe air and you think that's a great breath of air, even if it's your last one. Because then you're truly free and you can be free and then you can live free. And then when you die, you can die living, but you'll die smiling. You'll die in love with your brother. You'll die in love with your sister. You'll die in love with your tribe. You will have died living. And that's all I want any of you to do. Because as I've evolved in this, as my path, I've walked this rugged, almost unseen path sometimes. And all the trouble that befalls me, I found out that I really do love y'all. And I ain't got to like you. And that's amazing to me, because I used to not love you or like you. And I did. I wished death upon mankind, even if it was me. I used to tell people I'd be the one sumbitch in space. Once Mother Earth shook us off, I'd be the one sumbitch in space floating around with my bird finger up grinning. But not anymore, because I don't think she will shake us off if we change. But this change has to come very, very fast, y'all. We got to change what we're doing. So think about that. Love yourself so you can love your brother, and we can all love this beautiful planet we live on, the very planet that gives us life. And I'm not asking you to not worship your God. I'm not asking you to give up on your beliefs on what you think are right or wrong. I'm just asking you to take care of the very thing that gives you life, to take care of the very thing that gives you life. Because God, government, religion don't give you life. No, you're here for a reason. Find that reason. So there you go. That's why I'm your brother. And I hope you still like me and love me. Even though at one point in my life, I was so down and out, I wish death upon you, but I don't now. I wish life upon you. I wish you well, and I wish you inner peace. Because with inner peace, we can fight off all the evil of the world. And there's a lot of evil in our world right now. So think about that. I love you. Peace. Namaste. And don't live in fear.